The genre lesson begins with the essential question, what is literary genre? Each genre was printed on a separate poster. These genres were posted all the way around the library as much as possible in alphabetical order. Prior coming to the library, the students watched a video. This video included many members of the faculty and staff. They were asked the question, what is your favorite book and what genre is it in? I designed this lesson along with 5th grade teacher Miss Nelson, who asked me to introduce genre each year at the beginning of the year, along with the help from the instructional partner, Nicole Godbold, and my immense mentor, Stacy Robinson. Students were then asked to find their favorite book in the library, bring that book to the table, write the name of their favorite book on a sticky note, and then decide which one of the genres their book would fall under. The discussion was unbelievable as they were deciding this.
Percy Jackson, the son of Neptune. And this is mythology because at first I thought it was action because there's a lot of fighting in it. But then you added a mythology with a lot of monsters and gods, and this is probably my favorite book in the world.
You made the statement, at first I thought it was action, but then I decided it was mythology.
I chose I Survived the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863 because I really like history and I like a bunch of action. And at first I thought this would be action and thriller because there's a bunch of crazy stuff that happens. But I put it under tragedy because in almost all the I Survived series, everything that happened is a tragedy because in one of the other books I read that was in the I Survived series, I survived the shark's attack of 1912. That one had a tragedy because a kid who saved the other one who was swimming in the river that had a shark in it, he saved that kid, but he had to pay the price of getting part of his calf bitten off by a shark. But the reason why I chose the Battle of Gettysburg is because it took part in one of the most devastating times in America, and it's about a slave that escaped because his brother was taken away, and the kid on the title, he and his little sister escaped because they had time to escape while their brother was being taken away, and they met up with an American soldier, and then they were safe.
I chose Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and I guess it would probably go under adventure and action too, but I put it under fantasy because they have wands and they use magic all the time.
He's going through tough times because his parents are getting divorced and he's really depressed. So he's on a plane to his father's house and his mom gave him a present and it's a hatchet and he wears it on his belt. And then on the plane, the pilot has a heart attack and dies, so he has to, it crashes in the Canadian wilderness, something like that. And he has to survive off a hatchet. It's really good.
And I thought it went under action because when she's in the arena, there's a lot of action and fighting. And I really loved it because of how she survived in the wilderness, sleeping in trees and outsmarting all of the other tributes and districts, and I thought that was
Another
cool.
genre that Hunger Games would fit into besides action and adventure.
Thriller.
Thriller?
Tragedy.
Tragedy, adventure. Mainly action.
It wasn't really a tragedy.
No, it really wasn't.
She disagrees with tragedy.
It was in the beginning of the book where she had to leave her home.
They killed
That was in the beginning. It was tragedy because
at first her sister had to leave, but then her older sister Katniss didn't want her to leave, so she volunteered for her, and they were all really sad because nobody wanted her to go.
Because it does go under tragedy, because in the beginning, because Katniss, her little sister, was pulled out of the reaping for tribute, and her older sister Katniss was the first volunteer, and she volunteered for the Hunger Games for her sister. But then when she goes into the arena, I also agreed with Kaylee that it was either action or adventure, because it's a lot of like fighting and yeah.
Okay, anyone think it goes in somewhere else? In another genre?
Fantasy.
Fantasy? It actually goes in science fiction.
Yeah, I knew it.
How?
Because they're technically doing like
Hold
a
on.
test. Because they're kind of doing like a test on them to see who can survive against other people.
That's very true. Remember in the Hunger Games where they're running the test and you have to be in certain groups?
Yeah. And then the
Kind
clock.
of like the Maze Runner.
Yeah, the Maze
The
Runner.
clock.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's just like the
Well, you have to be really smart to play in the Hunger Games. That's why it probably goes in science fiction. Because in one part of the movie, it's like monsters. They set them up in these groups and then the test, and the one like kind of weird guy, he keeps on saying ding dong, and then they finally figure out it's a clock. The arena that looks like a clock, and then they try.
Mythology, because it's a mixture of fiction and history, and I love history and fiction. Those are my two favorite genres. And then mythology, it's just so ancient and it's more like it's like history and fantasy mixed together. And I especially love Greek mythology with Percy Jackson. I've read every single one of them. I love it. It's amazing. So.
With satire, it's a way that we poke fun at political views, the government, popular people of our time. And a couple of books that I think of is Gulliver's Travels, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. That would be another good example.
there's this person named Red that's going on adventures to defeat Team Rocket and get Gem M badges to be a Pokemon Master and defeat the Pokemon League.
It goes in the horror comedy genre because the author went around the country looking for scary stories, but at the end he has this one category where it's scary stories, but they have a funny twist at the end. There's one called The Viper, where it said, "I'm the Viper, I'm coming up," and it led to this, and it turned out it was just a guy who wanted to wash the windows, saying, "Oh, I'm the Viper, I came here to wash your windows."
What genre do you think these books fall under?
I think they fall into the history genre because they tell us about how the people in the Renaissance lived during the plague, the Black Plague. It tells us about how they lived in the Black Plague and how hard it was. And in medieval life, it tells us what it was like to live as someone in the medieval times, and told us what they had to survive. And
To conclude this first lesson about genre, we asked the students, why do we need to know about genre? They had a multitude of answers. We learned, along with the students, that learning about genre gives us a common language to discuss good literature.